This is a topic that is especially personal and dear to me, and the topic is about Zionism and feminism, and what's the relationship between Zionism and feminism. Really, unfortunately, many people believe that you cannot be a feminist and a Zionist, and the very idea that you can't be a feminist and Zionist, I mean, I refute that idea by my very existence. So I am feminist and I am Zionist. And I want to explain why I'm both of them and why they are, in fact, quite consistent, and that being a feminist and a Zionist is not at all problematic. So I'm a feminist and a Zionist because I'm a Jewish woman. As a Jew, I'm a Zionist. I want my people to have the right to self-determination and autonomy in our indigenous homeland. And as a woman, I want to have equal rights, and that is why I'm a feminist. I believe that Zionism is one manifestation of my feminist identity. And the reason is because in a world where my people don't have our own country and our own police force and our own military and our own borders, that is a world where I am not safe as a woman. And we know this because the very long history of Jewish existence in the diaspora proves that. So throughout history, as Jews were living in different nations across the world, and also as Jews were living in the land that is today Israel, but were living under foreign colonial rule in Israel, Jewish women were at risk of crimes against us as women and as Jews. On October 7th, we saw what a pogrom looks like. Pogroms had been taking place throughout centuries of Jewish life, and it's when neighboring people, usually the majority people, the people who were in power in a country, would descend upon a Jewish town or village and attack it. And part of that attack was rape. And part of that attack was mutilation of women's bodies and murder of babies. There are records of women's bellies being cut open and their babies being ripped out of their bodies, and of their breasts being cut off, and of their vaginas being completely mutilated as part of a pogrom. And we saw that throughout our history until we had the State of Israel. And the State of Israel is a promise against that attack. Now, on October 7th, that promise was not fulfilled. October 7th, our borders were breached and our enemies invaded, and they committed one of the worst pogroms. And once again, were mutilating our bodies and raping us and violating everything that is holy. So my Zionism and my feminism are inextricably entwined, because I am not safe as a Jewish woman without the promise of a country that will protect me. I would go farther and say that Zionism is not only consistent with feminism for Jewish women, but that in fact, Zionism is consistent with feminism, period. And the reason is because Zionism as a political movement has been egalitarian from its very beginning. When it started in Europe as an idea, it was an egalitarian idea. And when people were creating the Jewish state in Israel in the 1800s and 1900s, before the UN acknowledged it, but when they were laboring on that land and turning that desert into a place that would bloom, and planting eucalyptus trees to get rid of the swamps and the malaria, That was an egalitarian movement. Women were working hand in hand with men. Women were learning how to defend their villages with the men. Women were fighting in the war of independence with the men. And that spirit, that egalitarian commitment, has continued today in Israel and has applied not just to Israeli women who are Jewish, but to all Israeli women. Israel is a beacon of sex equality in a Middle East where you have countries where women are forced to be covered from head to toe. You have countries where women are not allowed to drive cars. You have countries where honor killings are commonplace. You have countries where women have no rights over their children. That is not the case in Israel. In Israel, Arab women are going to university at higher rates than Arab men. In Israel, Arab women are becoming doctors, they are professors, they are lawyers, they are having the number of children they want to have, they can get a divorce, they can drive their car, they have equal rights. And so Zionism and feminism, no question that they are consistent for me. And not just consistent, but I need them both. But the reality is that Zionism is not only consistent with feminism for Jewish women like me. Zionism is consistent with feminism for all women.